Welcome back to another episode of the Weekly DLC. I'm one of your hosts, Kurosh, joined always by my co-host, Danny Vargas.
Hello.
Danny Jang.
Un amigo de cartel. Un amigo de cartel.
Tell me again. If you're not familiar with us, we come to each and every week to podcasting services of your choice from tables and microphones of our choice. We talk about nerdy stuff, comics, games, movies, pop culture, everything in between. We each pick a topic usually. We bring it to the table. We share our topics. We discuss. We speculate. We chisme. We do all kinds of stuff and more. We go big in our modes sometimes, as some would say. But there's no place for bravery here. I'm making a little Easter egg hint, not so subtle, to our topics today. But if you're not familiar, so we're not only on these audio platforms for podcasting, as you can see, for those watching the video right now, we're on Twitch and YouTube. You can check us out at The Weekly DLC. You can search for that on YouTube. And then on Twitch, we're at twitch.tv/The Weekly DLC. Hit follow. You can see when I'm recording. This month's going to be a little weird. We usually record like later in the week, end of the week. All the news has been out. It's kind of like a buffet. What do we want to talk about? It's like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We're at the start of the week, but we haven't had a few of these topics, so it's like we got leftovers in that sense. And so we're on Twitch. You can join us when we're streaming. Hit the follow button. You'll know when we're streaming. And you can join us in chat, chime in with your thoughts on the topic, add to the conversation. It's just a good old time that we try to have. Yeah. For those unfamiliar, if you check us out on the iTunes, the Apple Store, we're on episode 289 now. 289 episodes, over 300 in total episodes, including all of our interviews, spoiler casts, everything. Still holding on to the 5-star title.
It's gonna be like Christmas-ish for 300.
With a few delays, I think, but I think we'll still be this year because we were originally going to be like at the start of December to hit the big 300. But yeah, all different ways. There's no place we're not. We're on everything. We're hopefully soon on TikTok too, I think, in some ways. I mean, some of the TikToks, if you see some of ours, you'll see us behind the scenes, like our trip to PAX, how that went. If it was directed by Michael Bay or set in 2007. But yeah, that's a little bit about everything. That's the spiel. That's the three of us. But so this week, this is 289. We're going to be talking about three things. We're going to be talking about Video Dunkey's new game publishing studio, Big Mode. We're going to be talking a little bit about the resurgence of Cyberpunk 2077 and what that could also relate to. And finally, we're going to be talking about a hit indie game we got a chance to try at PAX and give our review of it. The game being No Place for Bravery.
Wait, is the review ban lifted?
Yes.
Okay.
It lifted on the 21st.
Okay.
Good. See, one of the things we pride ourselves on is integrity, adhering to our NDAs.
No slipping Jimmy's here.
No slipping Jimmy's here.
Only Chuck McGill's and Howard Hamlin.
And Hamlin.
One Piece is real.
Well, yeah, that'll be our topics for today. Before we go into our topics, though, we like to go a little bit around the table. We do these weekly, so we like to catch up what you've been up to between the weeks. So, Vargas, what have you been up to since last week?
Nothing really. I've been recovering from events that happened to me, and I've been reading a lot of manga.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's been a good week of manga?
Yeah. Well, it's been slow, but I just... what I do is I sit around my computer all day and I refresh, and that's all I do.
Okay.
I watch people's streams and refresh. That's all I do.
Respectable. What have you been up to?
Chainsaw Man? You gonna watch it?
Probably watch it. I'm not gonna read it. I don't think I will.
And Spy X Family comes out again.
Oh, this
It's the
fall?
second season. No, like soon, like a week or a couple days.
Yeah, this fall.
Oh yeah. Still summer. It's hot. Hot boy summer.
It's too hot. What have you been up to?
I forgot to mention, I watched Hellraiser 1 and 2.
Oh.
And 2 sucks ass.
2 sucks ass, but the writer was there, and we were just
Did you tell him?
giving him props.
You couldn't tell me.
I mean, there are good quotes in the movie, and he even said like all the good quotes in the movie. I wrote that. Yeah, so it's like, And yeah, so Clive Barker directed the first one. He's the guy who wrote the story. I highly recommend reading it. It's a novella. It's an hour read.
Nice.
In the estimation and Goodreads. It's fucking. He is. The book doesn't do the movie doesn't do the book justice. It's like there's a scene where he talks about so Hellraiser's not really about hell. Those guys are not demons. Those guys are dimension travelers looking for pleasure and pain. They're called Cenobites. But the movie changed that. So in the second film, they say they're from hell. But the first one, they're not from hell. They're dimension travelers seeking pleasure and pain. And one of the dudes, he's just... What is it called when you just indulge in pleasures? There's a word for it.
BDSM?
No. Like,
Lust?
no. There's like a word for it. Like, just do everything just for pleasure. Fuck, I forgot the word. Well, anyways, he's done everything possible, and he's like, I need the next hit. And there's rumors that there's a puzzle box. If you open it, your like wildest pleasures will like be like released. And when he does it, it doesn't show it in the movie, but when he opens the box, this dude is crying, but he's enjoying himself. I'm like, the description of it, he's crying in pain, but it's also pleasurable. And he's just like, I was like, God damn, that shit's so descriptive.
And this
One
is the
Piece.
guy that we know as like the...
Pinhead?
No.
Oh, okay.
But he's one of the dimension travelers.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I saw it, and even Hellraiser 1 is not that great, but there's a lot of cool scenes in it, so that makes up for it.
Cool.
And oh yeah, I forgot to mention, man, racism still exists. So in the very beginning of the film, there's like an Asian dude, and he's the guy that like sells the puzzle box to the guy. He's like, "What's your pleasure, sir?" And there's a person laughing. It was just awkward. There's this one person laughing. He's like, "Oh my god, dude!" And that phrase is repeated in Hellraiser 2, but because he sells the box again.
What's your pleasure, sir?
Yeah, but that's like their like phrase in the movie, which I've never seen anything past Hellraiser 2. And Hellraiser 2 sucks ass. Yeah, but it was cool just watching like old movies in like millimeter. Like it's really cool. Like it wasn't scary,
Yeah.
but when I was watching Creep Show a long time ago, it was scary. I don't know why. Like watching it on TV is different, and then this loud noises. I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit! And I know the things coming. I was like, oh damn, that's actually pretty creepy. Like, but yeah, I'm trying to get into the Halloween season.
Spooky.
People at work don't dress up, so
They're
or
gonna?
not my department doesn't.
This is the first time since pandemic that I'm gonna be in the office. I'm like, I want to ask my teammates. I'm like, are you guys down to decorate the area? How are you guys with costumes? Because I like that stuff, but yeah.
There's a contest, but I don't think I'm going to participate in the Halloween.
You should be the only one.
Disrespect.
I'm going to participate in the Christmas one, but I'm going to have to ask HR if I can put this, because it's like a nonprofit and like it's from a movie. I saw it on Reddit. Some guy made a box but put foil around it, and Bruce Willis like a
Yeah,
cutout of
yeah.
him, and I want to put that, but I don't know if it's okay.
Okay.
So I got to ask HR because it's not it's kind of like a terrorist movie, anti-terrorist.
I guess.
movie.
Yeah, if you go by technical stuff. For me, it's less about the content and more about how does this mess with our building's safety, whatever. Like that
Like I want to do Bruce Willis and maybe a window with the Wet Bandits. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I do want to do the Christmas one.
Okay.
But played a little bit of No Place for Bravery, which we're going to talk about, and I got lost. And I was like, okay, I wanted to make a video, and I recorded footage. I just have not edited it, and I did not do the voiceover for it, and I don't think.
Just TikTok it.
Yeah, I guess I could TikTok it.
Just
And
be
I was
"Here
like,
you go." Take care of it.
I was like playing it. It took some time because I was playing the hardest mode, and that very first boss, not the mid boss, but
The demo, the end of
yeah.
the demo, yeah.
He was kicking my. But I was trying to play it perfectly. I was trying to do a no hit, and I was like, man, I kept on getting hit, kept on getting hit. But we'll see.
Okay.
I mean, I'll make a TikTok maybe, and then Splatoon. first Splatfest. Team gear. We got the tools.
Got the tools for the job.
Yeah, we won.
Took it to victory.
I was telling people on stream because I'm streaming it, and I was telling people, "Hey, watch," because we were losing. Team Fun was winning.
Yeah.
They won the beginning. They won the midpoint. That's why they got 20 points.
Oh. Okay.
And then we fucking came. I was like, "Watch, I'm gonna fucking turn the tide."
Came in.
There's some
gear.
good players though. Like playing Turf War is pretty chill, but playing on Splatfest, I was like, "Damn, there's some really good teams." Like I don't know if they were teams or they're just like
groups of
fucking me
friends.
up, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just, whew, yeah, it was cool. Damn, maybe I won't play the plus. I just want to hit the high rank and not get the. So the +1, +2 is like prestige kind of for Call of Duty. That's comparable to it. I don't want to do that because it took a long time to hit +1, and I'm like, damn, never again. 2 hours is fun. It's fine. But I'm going to try to build my build.
Okay. Get your gear.
I need a better shirt. I don't have a good shirt.
Gotta go shopping.
There's no, like, I mean, I got to. Damn, you missed out not getting the shells.
Why?
Because some of the vending machine stuff, it's abilities. Like, I got 10 chunk abilities of everything.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And
Next Splatfest, I'm going hard.
I didn't know that I got a ×10
Oh,
match
did you win?
once. Yeah, once.
You get
But
stuff for that.
there's people that get ×333.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, you want to win, dude. What if you lose?
You get nothing.
Fuck.
I was reading about it. I was like, I was in some of those matches and I was not paying. I was just like playing them casually. Like, and then we lost a few of them. I was like, oh, I could have. Damn. But there's so many things. It doesn't tell you all this stuff. Like, it doesn't tell you to use the conch shells. It doesn't. That
It's like
only
Monster
during this
Hunter.
one. Yeah. There's a lot of things that you just got to either know or look up guides. So,
And
got to make some TikToks.
that game is pretty casual because like I can tell like because I fuck a lot of fools up. I mean, there are times where I get messed up, but
It's casual but pro at the same time.
Yeah.
I haven't played pro, so I mean, I'm saying like just the casual play is very casual. Like
It's
I'm
got a
like-
big enough audience where all of those avenues have a healthy population, and it just launched too on top of that. But there's the casual, there's the pro, and then there's ranked, which is pro, or I would say anyone, casual and pro, but aspiring towards better. And the modes in pro or the modes in ranked are different than Turf War, and it can be hard.
yeah, and that game's so weird because you could be winning 90% of the match, and the last 10% you could lose it.
Yep.
It's like fuck, we were winning this whole time.
You're like, you have them locked in their base for most of the match. They wipe out your whole team.
Yep.
10 seconds left. They clear the whole board
Yep.
with their paint. They win.
very interesting game. Like I like it a lot. It's different.
Yeah.
It's very different from like any FPS or third person shooter. Very different. The closest thing comparable to it is Halo Territories. But it's not. That's not even correct. That's not correct. The closest thing to it is that. And then
Do you sometimes get teammates that are too casual?
yeah. Like I'll see someone and with 200 points, like bro, if you just painted the base, you could have got 200 points.
400.
I was like, what are you doing?
They'll weed out a little bit more.
Shit, only the hardcore people play.
Start trying if you can. Use your pro. Do you play with pro controller more or handheld?
Pro.
When you're playing with the pro controller, try motion.
I know that's
And don't use it all the time. Just like continue playing like you do. But then, if you want to do like if you're going for kills, start like twitching a little bit to get those like faster jukes on the kills.
I was watching a Twitter. Some dude was like John Wick. He was.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit! If I went up against that guy, he would kill me.
I think I went up against him. He killed me
In the rank.
in the pro one.
Yeah.
No, rank was hard because of the game modes. Pro was hard because the people were pro.
Yeah.
They were like all the slots, every weapon. They like when you're swimming in Splatoon, you swim in your own paint and you're mostly concealed, but not fully, unless you have a certain abilities. And I didn't have those abilities, so I'm just mostly concealed. But like, I'm not near any of the hustle and bustle of the fight, and I just got sniped. Like just swimming. I was like, what the fuck? Like that never happens unless it's by accident. Like they're spraying or something.
Yeah.
The netcode's kind of fucked up because there was a moment where I was behind a pillar. Like I moved behind a pillar. Some guy charge shot me through the pillar and killed me. Unless the paint hit me from top.
It could be an AOE thing, maybe. Because sometimes it happens with that dolphin super.
Yeah, I was like, no.
I hate that thing. They like their ultimate is this dolphin. They ride into it's like in a straight line, and at any point in that straight line, they can stop themselves and they just detonate like in an AOE. So they'll like you'll see a guy coming at you like I gotta get out of the way. You try to book it.
I hate the stamp. No.
Yeah.
I wanna. Yeah, I'm enjoying Splatoon. That'll be a weekly thing. I played some Fortnite. Fortnite's They didn't change too much. Yeah.
Yeah, just enjoy it. Get the pass. What's the final one? Is it Gwen? Okay.
Yeah. Easy. You just wait till the very end. All the quests are fucking there. You
Yeah.
just
XP
power
on all.
through everything.
Anything else? Better Call Saul.
Bought books and don't read them. Saw the One Piece.
It's real.
The One Piece is real.
Fuck, dude. Manga is expensive. Like, shit. I was like looking at the price. Like,
It's free.
I know, right?
Anything
Are you
else?
enjoying Better Call
Oh shit! Better Call Saul. Yeah.
He's talking
It's-
about this all the time.
Season 1 through 5. Slow. I'm warning you, it's a slow burn, but it's fucking worth it. It's good. I mean, it's good. It's not Breaking Bad good, but I mean, it's
yeah.
fucking like saying that it's not Breaking Bad. Like Breaking Bad's like a what?
I think-
98. Better Call Saul's like 95.
Yeah, I think Breaking Bad is more exciting because he was like in the thick of the front lines of doing that, like the meth stuff. This is because it's the law stuff. I think it's like we're building a case. We're doing this, so it's like. But on the flip side, there's so many shows about Law and Order, CSI. People love that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like doesn't have an audience, but it's not as like exciting. How would you think of season 5?
Is the best one so far. 4 was good. 5 was even better, and I bet you 6 is.
Even
Everything is like.
masterpiece.
Imagine like a fucking stew, and the stew's almost done. Like they're putting all these good ingredients, and like everything's coming to a fucking boiling point. And yeah, it's gonna be a fucking ride, dude. Because like obviously most of these characters don't show up in Breaking Bad, so you know something happens to them, and that's the interesting part. Not a lot of these guys are gonna survive. Like, did you know in Breaking Bad, Mike mentioned Nacho. I didn't know that. He's like
by name?
no. He's
Or he's referring to
Jesse
him.
was like, Jesse wanted to be like the hitman. He's like, no, you're not that type of guy. I knew a guy, and he's no longer here. He's talking about Nacho. I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure he's talking about Nacho. He's like, he's no longer here. I knew a guy. I had a guy. I didn't remember it until I saw something on Twitter.
It could be another character.
Could be.
There is another character. It's not like a named character. Like Gus has he has 3 go-to guys in the in Better Call. One of them's not there in Breaking Bad, and he was like one of Mike's like close. I don't remember what happened now.
Oh, there's a scene. I'm trying not to be no spoilers, but there's a scene that was really good where the guy's like, he was worth 50 of you. I was like, ooh. Oh.
And then also the season finale, or the final season of Atlanta is coming out. It's currently being showed.
That you're gonna see these thumbnails. Better Call Saul for sure. Because I know that it doesn't end with a bang, but it ends with a whimper. This is the IGN review. It was spoiler free. It ends with a whimper, but it does it really well. Like it doesn't end with a bang. It ends with a whimper, and it's like it eats at you. Like it's like fuck.
Yeah, I feel like anything I say will spoil. I'd rather just let you experience it. Just experience it. It's a good experience.
That show got snubbed, man. Like, if they don't win next year, I'm gonna be upset. Squid Game was cool, man, but
I got no beef
Bob-
with this game. Succession.
Bob Odenkirk, man, and Rhea Seehorn, she got picked up 2-season Apple TV show
With Vince?
Vince Gilligan.
Yeah. His
She's
next project.
fucking great, dude.
Mm-hmm. She's like the main protagonist alongside Saul.
Yeah, she's fucking great. Yeah, Better Call Saul. Fucking. Will I finish it this week? Probably not, but because the reaction videos take too long to make. So
Before
I want to
TwitchCon.
I still need to finish my Mister. I have like 2.
The stew.
My Mister's good too.
The stew. You just defined this as the stew and everything.
It's too hot right now. I gotta let it cool down right now. I gotta.
You gotta-
It's too hot. Let it cool down.
All right. Whatever you do, you're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, it's great. My
I'm-
only regret is not watching. I wish I didn't see the spot. I wish I was watching it alongside of it. That would have been great.
I don't think because of for me, I didn't want to watch like week to week. I wanted to at least wait till the season was out, but I waited a little longer than when the season was out. Like I think another month or two, and I'm like, I should have waited till like the last episode's about to air, caught up, and then enjoyed the last episode. I think that's like the best way.
It's great.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. No one's seen that show. No one.
No.
I know what most people are watching, and it is not on
Also-
any level near that show. And it's either Ring of Power or House of Dragons.
Yep.
And you can't go back to mediocre TV after you get so many, like not even just
Stew.
Better Call Saul, but yeah, the stew. But even like I would say Boys is solid quality.
Severance.
Like Severance, The Boys, like a bunch of like.
So watch all these low quality stuff before I watch all this high quality
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Or when you just want to turn your mind off, kind of thing. Like, I'll talk about Ring of Power first. I've officially given up. Like, I don't care. Like the same reasons before. I went 5 of I think there's 8 for this season. Each episode costs like 1.5 million or more in the production. Like it's beautiful. Like don't get me wrong, but I know there is not an ounce of me that cares about anything going on at any one moment of this show. Like nothing makes me like there's no tension like and I saw a TikTok that perfectly captured. They're just like they don't do anything to make you care about the big like there's a big overarching thing that they're trying to allude to, but it's those smaller connections that you're making with these characters that you're spending time with. That they need to make a reason for you to be invested with them, and I'm not invested with this. They have like 5 or 6 different locations going. I don't care about a single one of them, and they're just throwing names out there, but that doesn't do anything. It's just like it kind of reminds me of. I feel like even episode 1 of the prequels of Star Wars did a better job because they were doing a lot of like, this is Anakin, like name dropping things. This is Boba Fett. This is, but they at least like had a kind of a cohesive thing. This one's just like. That's Elrond. You know him, right? This guy doesn't act like that Elrond at all.
Better Call Saul does a good job of it. Like, oh, here's Hank. Like, and here's like these cameos.
5 minutes of Better Call Saul does a better job than 5 episodes. Each of these like an hour plus. And it plays the music. They're building. They're not like they're doing their own songs, but it really harps on the ones from Peter Jackson's. So I don't get it because I'm like. They want you to feel nostalgic for those, but when I do, I'm just like, that's 100 times better than this. So I'd rather you not go in a completely different direction, but like, don't make me think of that. Like, just do something your own, but do it where it makes sense. House of Dragons is at least, I'd say, cohesive and good. Like, there is a story going on, but like, even when I think back to this first season of Game of Thrones, I feel like they're coddling you with a lot of the stuff they're doing with this. Like they're trying to make people be built up. I think they're knowing that this is going to last a while. Whereas with Game of Thrones, I think it was less known then. It was more of we're trying something, and then it became a fucking huge success. This one, they're like, we're banking on it being 10 seasons or whatever. So we're going to build these characters so that when you look back 10 years from now, you're like, look at this, like this, and I'm like, I can see your. It's like it's very telegraphed the way they're doing it. Like he's the guy that's going to be doing a long con. This is a manipulative thing. These two, you're trying to make me feel like there's going to be look at him now versus look at him later. They're like at odds or something. And yeah, it's a lot of that and a lot of just I don't know, like it doesn't feel like that that secret sauce that Game of Thrones had. Game of Thrones was like gut punches. This one feels like it's shock value but in attempts towards gut punches, like gut punches in the sense of like, oh yeah, 1 second Arya's watching her dad do this, and then next second, Joffrey, orders the execution, even though that didn't happen, and Arya gets taken away, and nothing, and then the guy, Joffrey being this Prince Charming for Sansa is now like a nightmare for her, and she's terrified out of her mind. Like it was like a oh my god, like in the sense of like there's terror in like this stuff, and Cersei, or like the little, I would even say like the little squabble that Jaime and Ned had that turned into Ned getting like his leg stabbed or his back stabbed or whatever. They're like, holy shit. And then this show, it feels like they're like, yeah, nothing's gonna happen to that person, and you can feel pretty secure that nothing's gonna happen to them. You're like, okay, then why do I like it that's one of the things that I think was like essential to that show.
Yeah.
And when it started shifting, when they went with like, oh yeah, fan service, I feel like this is like not as much as those last seasons of fan service, but they're kind of still with a bit of it.
Fan servicing.
So it's a mixed bag, but it's enough still to like for me to like the houses are there, but they're very different. Like the Lannisters are not this proud. They're like, yeah, let's move on to the next subject and see this. Or other houses are a little different, but it's okay. I watched a little bit of that. I went on a trip this past week back to Seattle.
Yeah.
For work and
Back to PAX.
yeah, back to. It's actually funny because when the week was a blur. Like I flew out on the flight there and on the flight back. I didn't opt to get like the Wi-Fi or anything, but I was playing the single player Splatoon, which is fun. Like there's a interesting like they like making weird like the imagery and some of the moments make me think of like it's like the loading screens make me think of like weird nods to like Evangelion almost, like that kind of anime, like that weird. It's mature anime, but weird anime.
Yeah.
It feels like it knows that like it's kind of like influenced by some of those weirder animes in some ways, and it nods to it. It makes me use other weapons sometimes, and that's challenging because I'm like, I don't use this fucking weapon. So like it has me go through the shooting range, and I'm using one of the snipers, and I'm like trying to go through it, and you have a timer, and I'm like, I can't, and like they're moving targets. I'm just sitting there, I'm just like, fucking let me splat. I just want to like rapid fire everything. And
yeah.
I'm not used to it. So I did a little bit of that. Made some TikToks. It's been fun. I started a new school, a new quarter. This time it's the last one for my minor for animation, for game design. So I made a tree stump with a foliage, and then I made a treasure chest because the One Piece is real. And then I don't think too much else. Oh yeah, I went to Disneyland. I'm gonna be going back to Disneyland again for like the Halloween stuff. I'm getting ready for the spook. I want to watch some movies that like get me in the mood again because that was something I missed doing.
Trick or treat.
That's a great one. I don't necessarily always watch new movies for Halloween. I like revisiting like what you were doing. Like you went back to like Tales of the Crypt. I'll go back to like.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
I think I got enough of that
Hocus
one.
Pocus.
I've done that one a lot. The ones I would want to do are like Reanimator. I haven't done that too. I've done that once or twice. It's like not super scary. It's like kind of cheesy. Ghostbusters I don't do too often, so I'm like, it's fun to just put it on and just kind of relax. So yeah, there's that, and then I think that's everything. Yeah, I played a lot of Splatoon. I played the Splatfest Team Gear. We took it home. I did the pro mode. So the pro mode is just harder players, but the ranked mode it's like you can either pick one of two things. It's called anarchy battles. So one of them is like you go in for one fight and you win or lose your rank. You can still increase your rank even if you lose. It's based on your performance, which I like. The game, I think, has a good system where it rewards you no matter what. Like you're not bound by, because it's if you're not with friends, you're with randos, and like that could, like Jang is saying, like you can be paired with a lot of newbies that don't know what they're doing. The other one is, I think it rewards you more, is a set of 5 matches, and so it's like 5 and 3. It's kind of like trials. You have to win 5 and not lose 3. You get 3 failed. Not lose 2. On your third one, you lose the whole thing. So if you lose, and then the matches you get are different from Turf War. So for instance, one of them was 2, each team had 2 sets of hoops, and there's a crown in the middle. And both teams can shoot at the crown to break it free. Whichever team like overwhelms it with their paint, like at a threshold, breaks it. They can grab the crown and try to take it to one of the hoops. They throw it. They go to the hoop. They slam it. That hoop's gone. They have to get the second hoop. Once they get both hoops of an enemy team, they win. So you're trying to do that while the enemy's trying to take it to your side. The other mode I tried, I don't know how many other modes there are, but these are the 2 I tried. The other mode is, each base has like a balloon, like a net or a hoop of your, like a singular hoop, and throughout the level will be scattered these little clams, and you go around, you collect them until you have like 7 or 8, and then when you have 7 or 8, they turn into a football. You throw the football. Your hoop has a protective shell. The 7 or 8 clams form into the football so that it breaks that barrier, and after that, any clams you get and throw into the enemy's net count to destroy their net, and the first team to like get to 100 points wins. So they're like weird offshoots. They're not the popular modes, and I was like, this is different. And it doesn't explain it. It's just like, go, just figure out what you're supposed to be doing. I kind of just followed what my team was doing, and you kind of get a sense of what's supposed to happen.
Did you fix up your locker?
I haven't touched that at all. Because I started looking at what conch shells do after Splatfest. I was like, fuck, I missed it. And then I realized Splatfest orders stay until you buy them, whereas if you try to order other people's clothes, if you don't buy, like, they'll be available the next day, but if you don't buy it that next day, they disappear. So I had this one person, they had like a Freddy Krueger sweater. It was like red and black. And I was like, I'm going to get it. I forgot to buy it the next day. I was just like, next time I log on, I'll buy it. Because I thought it was like a Splatfest order. But I got some aviators. Like that, like, it has become my Animal Crossing in some ways, where I'm like, I want to accessorize.
Fashion, number 1. And skills second.
It's so cool how like they've incorporated like the streetwear kind of just into the, because the style of the game is that.
Drops. It's cool. It's really cool. It's got me hooked.
Yeah. Need the Supreme Club.
I like the character design for the locker lady, like Julie.
Yeah, all the NPCs have a lot of different
Nautilus,
like,
the headgear.
I bought something off Supreme, first time. No, not first time. This is you've done this has been before.
Did you buy something for yourself?
I almost did.
The jacket.
No, well, I saw that. I was like, wait, is the Tekken stuff out? And I started seeing. I was like, I kind of want that character select. Like, it's literally a giant button shirt, and it's just covered in the character select screen of Tekken.
If it was Tekken 3, I would, but it's Tekken 2. I think 3 is the best one, for my opinion. Just
3's good. I like Tag a little bit. That's a soft spot for me. Yeah, that was fun. Oh, one of the things we did, I forgot to mention, when I went on my work trip, the first day I went was kind of like travel day, so I had some time, and my cousin lives down there, or up there, and I went to his neck of the woods, and there's like this. It's the pretty much the HQ of where like all the, like, anytime I order cards for Magic off of their site, Card Kingdom, they all come from this store, and he lives like. If from my place to like that park right across the street, that's how close a walk it is from. He's like, it's dangerous. He's like, I just go for a walk. I ask him I want something. So the store the data, like the warehouse of all their inventory is on the upstairs. The first floor is like a mecca too. It's like a nice fleshed out. It's called Mock's Boarding House or boarding something. And the main lobby, you walk in. The main lobby is like this huge board game shop. Like any weird, obscure board game you can think of, it's there, popular. To the right, D&D tables, kind of little offshoot rooms that you can go. They have a setup where you could just set up and play or rent it or whatever. I saw like a group playing a D&D session just using the space. The next to it, 2 or 3 tables for like the Warhammer miniature style play, and the back was just like tables upon tables for people to play Magic or to play any other board game, but like mostly for Magic tournaments. And they had this chandelier with Magic cards, just like making the shaded surrounding. I was like, what the fuck? And then you go to that's the right, that's the middle. To the left is like a nice like sit down kind of restaurant bar. It's like really decked out, tables and stuff, and chairs and like bar stools, just a mixture of that. And there's a bar, and you can get like not just bar food, but like they had an assortment of like interesting foods and cocktails and mead. They had a lot of like their whole thing was like a bunch of meat. I was like, what? So my cousin and I go because I had planned ahead to meet him on that day. I put an order in for pickup in store versus order online. So I was like, I'm gonna pick this up in person. I go and pick up my order. He had an order. He picks it up. We just sit there like, what'd you get? So we're sitting there in the bar, the food area. We're like, we're going to sit down. And people in the food area can bring games there. They could just grab something and be like, I want to play it. Come over here. Or bring their own stuff and just sit down, play, eat, till whenever. They're open till like 2 in the morning.
Sheesh.
So this place like is like a hub.
A few places in Washington State is open late.
No, like that. The thing is that area that it's a part of is like a night spot. Like there's a lot of cafes. There's a lot of bars. There's a Harry Potter themed bar called like Witches something or Wands something. Like I took a photo of the booth, but he's like you have to reserve because it can get sometimes people like reserve the whole space. But that area is like nightlife a little bit. So I go over there. We get over there. I learned my lesson from PAX. I brought just the deck that I wanted to buy these cards for to finish. I was like, that's all I'm bringing. I'm not bringing 50 decks. And he's like, you want to play a quick round? I'm like, yes. I came to hang out, so let's play, hang out. So we're sitting there. The bartender's right, or not the bartender. The front desk for like seating people was right here. We sit at this end, and it was like a long table that went that way to the bar. So we sit down. We're starting to play, and some guy comes over that we neither
bald
of us
guy?
knew. Huh?
The bald guy?
No. This guy was like we made some This guy comes in, he's got a drink in his hand. He's like, "Hi guys, do you mind if like what type of match you playing?" We're like, "We're playing Commander." He's like, "Do you mind if I watch?" And we're like, "Normally wouldn't, but like we haven't seen each other in a bit. We want to just catch up and just spend some time." He's like, that's why I asked. No worries. He goes back to the bar, and you can see he was looking. We watched him, and he was looking for other people to talk to and hang out with. Like, okay, whatever. Then we're still talking, playing. 10 minutes pass by. Some other guy from this side comes in. He's like, "Hey, dudes, you guys like play drafts?" And we're like, "Yeah." He's like, "We got a group. We have a bunch of packs already bought. We just need X number of people to play. Are you guys interested in playing?" It's like, it's from this set. You could even maybe talk to the guy that bought them. If whatever you pull, you keep, or whatever you want to do. I don't know. But we're just looking for people to join our pod. And we're like, that was the set we wanted to play if we did. Everything he said was like, this is cool. He's like, same answer. We're like, sorry, dude, we can't. But we're like, hey, go talk to that guy. He sounded like he was interested. He's in the Magic. He's like, okay. Talk to him. And then I think a third guy had come up to us. I forget. And asked the similar girls, like, you guys looking for a pod, like, four? Like, no. And then the waitress, like, came back, and like, he's like, here's your drinks. And, like, then she asked, she's like, are you two celebrities? And we're like,
She
no.
said yes.
She's like,
Are you a god?
she was like, I have worked here for, like, I don't know, 5-7 years. I've
That's
never seen this happen before.
That's when you plug the weekly DLCs. Like, we have a podcast.
My cousin did that. Before I could think about it, he was like, he does do a podcast. I'm like, yeah, weekly DLCs. But like, I turned on. I'm like, is this the equivalent of like people picking up people? Like, you play Magic?
You play.
Reminds me of a story when I used in Rolling Heights. There used to be an arcade, and I was there, and then some guy's like, "Hey, are you so and so?" I said, "No, I'm not. I'm sorry."
Like
And
me,
my friends
fucking,
like, "You should have said yes." Like,
in my May bit, some guy came up to me. He's like, "Hey, you're this guy." I'm like, "No." And you're like, "Everyone, you guys were like, you should have said."
I've had at Comic-Con, "Are you Will Wheaton" 3 times.
shit.
On 3 different occasions, like 3 different years. Like, and one of the times was at the Nintendo booth. The experience, the lady at the front, she's like, "Are you supposed to go in there?" I'm like, "No, why?" She's like, "Aren't you Will Wheaton?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Oh shit!" And I was like, "What?"
But you guys might have been like perfectly like in
Our spot was
like the.
but there were people playing all over, like right there, like not even far from us, a group. People at the bar, people over on the side, but it was like, yeah, we were just sitting there like prime. I don't know, we just looked approachable.
What's
So
weird
it
was
just
like
funny.
one of the Twitch LA events, the last second one, the last 2 one, or not the Hard Rock, but it was at a Burbank like board game place.
Yeah,
bar.
yeah.
And it's crazy because like the girl that was like the bartender, she streams, and then like she was talking to like a patron, and he's like, "Yeah, I just got affiliate." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Everyone streams in here?" And they
Damn.
weren't part of Twitch LA. I was just like, "This is weird."
That's cool. I know one of my coworkers mentioned that place, and they talked about it pretty well. They were like, "It's a fun spot."
It's cool. There's just no seating.
Yeah.
It gets too
It's small.
crowded, and yeah. Oh, there's an outside seating. We didn't go
Okay.
outside, so.
Yeah. Cool. You guys want to get into topics?
Let's do it.
All right, take it away.
So for me, for my my topic, it's gonna be Dunkey's
Big mode.
big mode. It's his indie thing for like indie games.
Well, here to help great games stand out because we love them. It's like a publishing studio.
Yeah.
We're offering is a unique and powerful way for indie games to stand out in a crowd space, and our publishing contracts are designed to be the most developer friendly possible. We can assist in any standard publishing needs you may have: funding, development support, PR, community management, QA, porting and localization, and merchandising.
So, knowing that Dunkey only makes videos of games he's played, and he makes like other joking videos, what do you guys think of his big mode? His funding for indie games.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
You want to go first?
Anyone?
He's gonna learn the hard way, because I feel like, I hope he has a good team behind him, because like anything brand new is gonna be tough, and just publishing is not easy as well. Like is he a curator? Like I don't know what exactly he's gonna screening process for. Is he on the lookout for indie games?
Well, yeah. Looking at what the types of support they would offer for publishing, I think it's more on the resources and support side. Granted, it's not like a anyone can do kind of thing. I agree, but I was glad to understand that was what he was doing. I thought he was doing like his own like game design studio with him leading it. Like, I know how to make games. I'm gonna do it.
I mean, more competition is better for everyone, I think, and especially you know who kills it is Devolver Digital. Like, I feel like that's like all the indie game developers' dream. Like, oh, I want to go be published under Devolver. And you know what? Hope he does well. I mean, I think it's gonna be tough. It's not as easy as it sounds.
It's definitely not easy as it sounds, and I mean, the way that Dunkey makes his videos, he makes everything. He makes light of everything that he says, but I don't think he necessarily means it that way. I again, I don't know if he means like light of this, but I think he's taking this serious, and we don't know what his team is when it comes to big mode, but it's
Even if it's just him, though, like
Yeah.
I feel like if you can give a small game that would normally not have any visibility, that would be only visible at a PAX, and even if that, like, they're in a corner of it, and he's like, this game is like something special, let's elevate it. I think that's like at the very bare minimum. If that's all he's doing, then I think that there's not much else that he needs to do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he would. There's any way you could sabotage a game unless you gave them, like, I don't know, an open. Like, he starts getting involved creatively. If he's like, because you always hear this with films, like producers get involved heavy-handedly. It doesn't seem like, based on his mission statement, his video that he did, it's more he wants the curation process. Like, now we're at a point in games where it's not like 8 games are coming out. It's like 8 million games are coming out. Yeah. And how do you find them? Like, how do you find the gems? How do you find the things that... And so
I'm sure his first like few games will be like well heard of, like once he takes it under his wing, because like those are like the first few games that his company is taking over and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I feel like it's gonna be scrutinized fucking harshly because the way he is. I know it's all jokes and stuff.
That's true.
His games are gonna be like critiqued.
Well, I mean, some of the games I think he'll be like, these are perfection, but if others the intent is like to be fun or to be wacky, like party games, like I feel like, yeah, I'd be curious how he helps, like the way in which he vouches for them. Is he gonna make videos about those games? Well, is his channel now gonna be a platform for those things, or is he keeping it separate? Like, because he's still criticizing other things, so like, will it be a bias on the stuff he makes? I don't know. I felt like there was some. I saw some like games journalists and stuff commenting about his thing, and I was like, I don't know. Anytime someone wants to like, it's hard because
game devs
Oh.
going in on him, not journalists.
Oh, I saw like Danny O'Dwyer and a couple other like journalists and stuff.
Jason Schreier.
Not so much him. There was like a few others, but just in general, it's like when people that are already in public light try something new, they get shit on, and I'm like,
Jake
what?
Paul, Logan Paul,
CM Punk, like, well, for that part, like not his other stuff, but like, I like if someone were to do that to the average Joe, like I'm gonna try something different that I didn't do 20 years of. It's like, well, what's wrong with that? Like, just try it. Like,
yeah,
doesn't hurt.
But yeah, this route that he's taking, where he's he's willing to help, whether it's funding, promotion, PR stuff, I think is a smart move. It's going to be difficult. Like anything that's like starting is going to be tough because you're going to make a name for yourself as like the company and everything. But I hope he does well. I hope he does well.
Like I have a little bit of a problem is because the way his videos are. If he was like a Maximilian dude and gave like constructive criticism, like I would be like,
it's hit or miss.
I know it's comedy, but it's just like
somewhere it's like I feel like the longer ones are the ones where he's talking about like, I don't know, I can't think of one, like one of the Mario ones or the something. I don't know.
But I think most of his recent videos have been like making fun of different things. But like, yeah, he's had very like sincere videos where he gives good criticism, and he gives like the review, like the review of the game very well.
Yeah,
I think he's. I mean, I hope he does well, but again, it's a brand new thing, and we'll see where it goes. But I wish him well.
Yeah, I'm like, this is a obviously like a bigger change for him, but to me it's different. I'm gonna say that right out the gate with this comparison. But like, I know Dr. Disrespect has started a game studio. I know he's had experience designing levels. I think there is, to me, like looking from like a technical side of it, there is still a big difference between doing one aspect of a game versus managing a team, being like a leader role in a studio or whatever you want to call it, and doing telling people to finish your tasks, to integrate across a whole thing. Like that to me is a jarring shift as well. But I don't think that got the same kind of like backlash. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't paying attention to it, but because it's the internet and there's always something somewhere. But I feel like I'm seeing it differently here. I'm like, why is it different here where other people in spotlights go on there and it's like, cool. I'm like, anyone wants to try something different, go for it. That's my whole thing.
Yeah.
So I'm curious though, like, because he did say at the end of his video, he's like, don't just think we're going for every indie game. He's like, I want like the best. I want the people that are like just not doing this first. I want like, so I'm curious, like you said, with that expectation that he's expecting of others. Now it's gonna be in turn like what you said, Jang, of it'll be on him too. Of like, you vouch for this. What do you know? What's your?
But I'm sure like a lot of the first time people that are gonna sign up for it are gonna be like, a lot of them are gonna be like a joke. Like they're just gonna try to get in there and get money.
Do you think it'll be first time people?
No,
he's gonna be doing his own screening. He's
right.
I don't want to work.
Right,
with you.
but I'm saying like we won't see these because he's gonna be screening them and stuff. But a lot of people are gonna try to like make up a story and say like, yeah, I've been in the game and blah 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 blah.
Show something though.
Yeah, so we'll see. But I'm sure he's gonna get a lot of like trolls and stuff like that in the beginning.
I feel like Devolver is like cream of the crop. Like if I was an indie game maker, I'm like, I want to get published by Devolver.
Yeah. But now that the space, because they weren't always what they are now. It's like they got there through, going through all the hurdles and
Trial
stuff.
and error.
And I think through smart management, like having a team that they're like, let's work on these 5 small ones, investment into bigger ones, pivot and all this stuff. I think that's like what sees the through. Like when you see these big game studios, it's harder to. I think part of it that I see is like we were watching a little bit of that Connect thing.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like they can take those like really bad hits of like an Xbox Connect not being the greatest thing because they still sold X amount of it and they have other revenue streams and all this stuff. When you're working with these smaller stuff, it's like much more intentional, much more specific. Like Supergiant would be another one. They're an indie studio. They publish themselves or they publish. Who's the guys that did Psychonauts?
Double Fine.
They've navigated that very differently. They talked about the types of works they would do to make it so that they could fund these types of projects. They would do odd jobs. They would be like, you don't need to credit us on these games. We'll do the grunt work for those so that we can get the funding and backing we need so that we can work on our project. And I'm like, whoever's guiding your ship, like then they became bought out by, I think, Xbox. Or no, I don't know. They went through being owned to being independent to being owned again. And it just seems like they're actively involved in those processes of like what makes sense to them.
Yeah.
Same with Bungie. Like they're bigger now, but they went through like, are they going to be bought out by Activision? And so that relationship between developers and publishers.
Yeah, like Devolver, I feel like took a bet on Cult of the Lamb because like I feel like that's a game that like it's unique and rare. And where it's a hit or a miss. Like we don't know if this is gonna like work with like making a cult, and you have to go through and handle levels and stuff like that. Whether it's gonna be a hit or a miss, but they took a gamble and Devolver hit it with Cult of the Lamb.
Yeah, I mean, curate. They have folks that like will look at it like what makes sense, what doesn't.
Because I'm sure, like,
feels good.
I don't know how it works with Devolver, but I'm sure they're screening a bunch of games and like, hey, we're gonna have these guys be a part of us and have these guys be a part of us.
Yeah,
they got Gumbrella too and stuff like that. So, yeah, I just hope it goes well for Big Mode and for Dunkey.
Cool. Next topic.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk. The future. Not the future. I picked it up. It'll show up in like 10 seconds.
Not
Motorcycle one with the pants off.
So Cyberpunk 2077. That one. 2077.
Did you watch the show?
Not yet. I want to because I like the studio that animated it. Trigger. They did Kill la Kill, Fully Cooley, a bunch of other stuff.
Fully coolly.
I found out one of my favorite animators doesn't animate shit anymore.
Really?
Vampire Hunter D, Ninja Scroll. He did the Animatrix, the samurai one.
Yeah.
His last film was in 2007.
What?
He did a Batman Deadshot one, which I haven't seen.
I've seen that one.
Yeah.
That was like an animatrix for Batman. I remember that.
Yeah. He doesn't. I mean, he's old, so I think he retired.
Damn.
He had good animation.
Yeah. That was some good I like that stuff. But yeah, so Cyberpunk just released a Netflix animated series, and it was well received. And I think that alongside with some of their updates they've been doing to the game, kind of just to get it working and functioning and back on stores and stuff, have seen the game back in the popularity, at least on like Steam. And Steam I think had like a sale for, it was like 50, 60, it's like $30 or something. But it hit some like concurrent all-time highs on Steam, and it's kind of been trending in a few areas on like Twitter and stuff. And I just thought it was interesting of like a game that just went so hard in the crash at the start to some semblance of like success now, and it's like seen to some positively. I was wondering, can you guys recall of any other thing like that, or something that for you might have felt that way, where you hated it at first and like you came back to it and you're like, this is really good, or I don't know, just any combination of that. It's kind of like share our experiences.
I feel like Killzone would have been one for me.
Really?
Killzone, the most recent one that came out for the PS5, I believe.
Okay.
Which was Killzone 5, I think.
I'll check.
But that one, I played it in the beginning, and it seemed like bare bones. Like there wasn't much to the game, but later on, I tried it again, and it felt good. It felt very positive when I was shooting my weapons and
there was none on the PS5.
No, so it was PS4 then.
Okay.
It was a PS4 Killzone. I forget what it was called, but I remember just thinking like that the timing was off on the gun and stuff like that, and I don't know if it was something that was wrong with my PS4, but later on I tried it again and it felt right. It felt good. I remember that much.
Okay.
Mine's not a game; it's an anime.
No.
Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay, and I stopped watching it in the first season, and then I just started hearing. The weird. This is bad. The thing that got me interested in it was people were thinking that it was fascist, and I was like, that kind of like perked my interest. Like, oh, I want to give it a try, and yeah, it was cool. The ending sucked, but it was cool. Like the whole journey was cool. I think the ending sucked. We'll see if they change it. But yeah, the manga ending was. But
and when was it when you first tried it?
Fuck. Whenever it was popular.
Like coming out?
When it was on Netflix. It was popular. Okay. It was on Netflix, and I think I saw like 8 episodes. I was like, this is really cool. Like, I liked it, and then I just lost interest. And I didn't even get to the part where, Aaron, we need to come back. You need to come back with this. Like, that, I would have probably stuck with it. Like,
that was 2 seasons then, yeah.
You gotta come back with this. I was like, wait, what? The way he said it nonchalantly, we had to go back. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What? I've never seen a work of fiction do a reveal like that. Usually reveals like that. Yeah. It's just like, you gotta come back with this. Well, I was reading a manga, so it looked a lot different in my head. It's like
it just looked like another panel of like them dialoguing and just being like, okay, this is like the nuclear launch codes are. Yeah. I'd say a similar one for me. Like I can think of games and shows. For shows, actually, is one we were talking about today. Is when I first heard and watched a little bit of Better Call Saul. I wasn't in the mood for it. I'm like, this isn't Breaking Bad. This isn't Walter. This isn't Gus. This isn't, Heisenberg. This is, what is this? This is years ago. This is, who are these folks? How long is it going to take? I was like, ah. slow burn. I was not in the mood for a slow burn. I was like, let's keep going off the high that was the last show. And I was like, I'll put it off. I'm in no rush to watch this if I ever get to it. And I think I don't know, I was out of things to watch, and more of the show had come out at that point, like 2 or 3 seasons, probably 3. And I was like, I've been hearing good things. Give it a shot. I just put it on. I was watching kind of casually, on other stuff, and I kept going. I was like, okay, you're getting me. And then I see Mike, and I see other characters that I'm more invested in. I'm like, this show's got me. And then after that, it was like, this is good. I wasn't comparing it anymore. It was just this show. I wasn't thinking like it's different from Breaking Bad. It's similar to Breaking Bad. I was just like, whatever this show is, it's in the same area, but that's it. That's all and there's a couple of similar faces, but just giving a stretch for the cameras. Samus. Is that camera 1? Okay. You guys are okay. So yeah, Better Call Saul, kind of like that slow burn was like when you go at it from an initial investment, you're like, you either have to know you're getting into a slow burn or you have to be in the mood for it.
Right.
I wasn't, so that was the big reason.
And I mean, just to add, I stopped at season 2 initially.
Oh yeah.
I was like, this show's okay. It's not like great. And then, man, season 4. There's a point in season 4 I was like, holy shit. I mean, without spoiling, it's present time. Not present time. It's hard to explain. It was Breaking Bad time. I was like, whoa.
It wasn't gray? Mm-mm. Okay.
It was Breaking Bad. It was happening in Breaking Bad. Like season 5. I was like, okay, this show's fucking amazing, dude.
One for me, I didn't watch it in the beginning, but I've heard of it, was shoot, what is it? Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then when the the episode happened where they behead someone, I had to watch it, and like I started watching it, and I just got hooked, and it became better and better and better. Yeah.
I was trying to
Until it didn't get better.
Well,
by that far, we were too far in.
it got better until season 5, and then it started going downhill from there.
I'm trying to think of a game I bounced off it. And most of that happened for games that happened like when I was younger. I remember being a huge Wolfenstein and Medal of Honor fan, and people were talking about Call of Duty, and I would always see it demoed at like Best Buys, and I couldn't. I was like, this isn't Medal of Honor is so much better. Wolfenstein's so much better. Yeah. And then I think I saw like a lot of my friends playing it, or it was like a lot of commercials or something. It was in my magazines I was reading. People were like talking about, this is good about it. You should try this. You could explore this if you do this. And I didn't know about those things. Like I was just playing the demo of like whatever mission they allowed. And I think knowing there were these other elements to the game at that time, like in how it was broken up, like there's a story mode, there's this, I don't know, just something about it just meshed after I read about it and saw stuff that I gave it another shot, and I was like, I could get into this.
Do you guys plan on revisiting Cyberpunk?
I never played it, and I bought it, and right now I think the way I play games has become very limited. Like this week, because of travel, it kind of made it where I had nothing else to do. So I was like, I'm going to play games. I'd like to, but it's in my backlog of, it's not like top of the list.
Yeah.
It hasn't put it like I want to watch the anime. Like I love that animation studio. And so maybe after I watch that, I might be kind of.
Yeah, that right there looks like Fully Cooley.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm in the same boat. I want to watch the anime, and then from there, I probably want to replay the
we'll see.
game.
I remember seeing it at the time, and when people had it working, it looked cool. But those kinds of games are like it's an RPG, so it's like you gotta like be ready to play 60, 80 hours. And I already have like 5 of those games on my my things that I'm trying to finish.
Yeah.
But the anime for sure. I remember Arcane made me really want to try League of Legends. And I tried one time, and I'm like, no, this is not translated.
They're
This is not the same. No, it wasn't even the talk. I played with my brother and cousin, and I was like, I do not like click, just sit there and click.
No.
Even though it's like tactical and you have to choose the action, I don't like that kind of game. They were both like down to play more of it. I was like, let's play something else, please. So, yeah, that is my topic.
Cool.
There's always space for Bravery. No place for Bravery. We played it at PAX. We all got the pin for beating the mid boss. So we'll do like a review.
Yeah.
Because we also got early copies of the game. And I played a bit, and I got lost.
You didn't hit credits?
I did hit credits.
I hit credits.
I did.
It counts?
Yeah.
Yeah, no place for Bravery. The publishing studio, I'm trying to remember.
Yeezbird? Or it's weird. Yeezbird?
The developers are Glitch Factory. The publisher is Yeezbeard Games. It's a top-down 2D action RPG, and it kind of has elements. I'm going to show a little bit of like the world here in a second. Kind of has that Hyperlight Drifter visuals.
Yeah.
The combat is Souls-like, Souls adjacent. I don't know. Like for this style, it tries to like have it where there's parry mechanics, there's
dodge,
there's dodging. You know, you have to be strategic with each combat. It's not like just aggro 100 people and try to live. You will not, and you will die. There's what do they call them? Places of rest where you get your blessings.
Bonfires.
The bonfires to like rest and make your upgrades and stuff. So there's a lot of things that like draw for inspiration from Dark Souls. How about we start with bathroom? Let's start with what we liked. Well, yeah, what we liked about it. Then we can. I'll kind of steer from there. What's a aspect about this game that like you were drawn to?
I like that there's weapon selections. From when I played at PAX, I was able to use a sword and a hammer. The hammer was pretty OP, and then I liked both the dodging and parrying mechanic, but I don't feel like they made the parrying mechanic necessarily too visible.
Okay.
Because like they showed it one time and that's it, and then from there they didn't necessarily tell you like, oh, by the way, you can keep using parry mechanic in the demo.
You mean explaining the parry mechanic?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What did you like?
I'd say that one of the things I liked was for a game like this, I didn't expect much in terms of, I guess, cinematic narrative hook. And I felt like the way they animated and portrayed like the story beats was in a way that I was like, that's what reminded me of Hyperlight Drifter. I feel like Hyperlight Drifter was like a silent film, but it had these ominous, like, cool moments. Like when it cut to like something crazy happening, I was like, something cool is about to happen. This one kind of had moments where like he was like, my boy, I'm gonna do this, and like then the action would come. Like, whoa, that's like, I don't know, like it had what you would normally see, I think, on like a high production kind of game attempt. But they were just doing it within the scale of their game. I like that. Like the little nightmare sequences. And just I liked what they were alluding to with the story, and I think that was what like grabbed me more. Like if it was just gameplay by itself, generic, whatever, I'd be like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
I liked that there was a world. I liked that there was like a home where he was with his wife and everything, and there's these other people, and there's like these elders in the far off distance and stuff. So the set pieces, like just like the atmosphere. I'd say that's probably the way to describe it. The atmosphere. What's an aspect of the game that like stood out as a positive for you?
I like the parry mechanic. And you can play like Dark Souls, shield up. You can play like Bloodborne, dodge attacks and position and attack. But the parry mechanic was very satisfying. And if you're like good at Sekiro, you'll be good at this game. It reminded me of Sekiro. Like, 'cause a lot of attacks were like in threes, like doom, 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 doom.
There's
doom,
rhythms
doom.
to the combat, yeah.
Parry mechanic. And it sound
Yeah.
break the stance.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it more than Liza P.
Oh, at the PAX demo, yeah. Would you guys... Okay, then going into an aspect that you think there's room for improvement, what area would that be for you guys?
I think the movement is a little slow.
Yeah.
In the
I
way,
didn't
like,
like...
you
How
run
was
button.
the running for you guys? Was there... Because I didn't see there was a command for it. It was like if you
You had
walked...
to walk a certain distance.
And then you would... Yeah, that was annoying to me. I
Yeah.
wanted to just actively be like, go run.
Yeah, exactly. It felt slow because of that. Because like you would have to like stop to do something. You'd have to walk a certain distance just to get the running animation going again.
In the aspect.
There's a lot of bugs when I played the Switch version. We played the computer version at PAX, but
Both early builds.
it was very. I mean, it didn't take away from it, but it was just like you noticed it.
Yeah.
Like it's like holy shit.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I know there was that email they sent with like a patch notes, so hopefully they fixed. But there was a lot of constant errors. For me, one of the things I wish there was maybe a little bit more of. It didn't need to be a lot, but just it had a here's a quest log what you're supposed to do, but it didn't always have a this is where that is. When I was like trying to, I didn't necessarily need like a waypoint, but I wanted a. This is this location. Let me look at the map. This is the name of that location if I search for it. It was just a blank map with like just imagery with no, and I didn't know. I was like trying to just get to the next section. It's like before you make your when you're ready to make your decision, talk to these two people. I was like, I remember who one of those two people were, and I went back. I was like, did I miss something? Can I just go? And it was right there at the home base the whole time.
Oh.
I messed up. I misheard her name. My wife. It was the wife. I was like, whoops. So that bit of guidance or clarity was something that I wanted.
There was a part that was really difficult. Like I didn't find the game to be difficult. There's this part where these guys are throwing like weird smoke bombs at you. And there's two of them, and it's a platforming section.
Yeah.
I was like, this part is too hard, dude. Holy shit.
I liked the challenge. It was you could make it harder if you wanted. Obviously, it wasn't like the craziest hardest, but there was if you wanted some resistance, you could get it. And there was also interesting ways in which you could make it difficult. I think it had different sliders for how they incorporated whether you just did more damage, took less damage, took more damage. You could really adjust. I thought that was a feature that was really cool for, again, a game that you don't expect that. Like I usually expect that from like AAA, higher end accessibility kind of features. I think the way you could customize that the difficulties or the eases. You could be like, I'm good with everything except for the attack timing, the parry timing or window, and just change that if you wanted. So I thought that was a really cool thing. I guess, but unless there's anything else you guys want to specifically talk about, what would you say is an area you'd like to see them, like if they were to improve upon in a future game, like next game comes, like add this or do this instead, or
Just like not to say that the graphics are bad or anything, but maybe just upgrade the graphics a little bit.
What do you mean by that?
It's a 2D top down, but it's very like pixel, and then kind of go more for like a pixel perfect version or like a.
Do you have like an example of a style you're thinking?
Well,
I feel
no,
that's
like
a style.
keep the same, but like have because I think it's very light in like the design for like the character in pixel form.
Oh, okay.
And then just have like a more like pixel perfect, like vibrant color, kind of
Okay.
activities.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying.
I know they're trying to go for Dark Souls and exploration. I wish there was a thing where like the kid on your back's like, hey, no, we need to go up here. Like just because I got lost, man. I was playing the game and then I went into the mountains and I just fucking got lost. I was like, I don't know where to go, dude. And I felt like I went everywhere. And then there were spots in the cave area where you can't access and it's like, oh, you have to come back here. I kind of don't like that, but they're trying to do like a Dark Souls thing where you have to you can't get there yet. You're going to have to get an item to come back. And I'm just like, I mean,
Okay.
I see what they're going for. So
Yeah.
it's just like, fuck. There has to be a better way to do it.
I want to see what this developer has made before.
I think it's a one-man dude that made the game.
Glitch Factory. The designer is Felipe Todeschini. And Glitch Factory has made Free Lies. Oh, no. Sorry. Nobody's. Oh, Party Saboteurs After Party. Similar art style. I'm trying to pull up some screenshots. Yeah, very similar art style. Looks more like, like a party game where everyone's... Okay. This definitely looks more ambitious than that. Like, in terms of, like, a full-scale, like...
Yeah.
It'll show up there in a second. Sorry, you guys are trying to react to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Saboteurs.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think if they continue based on like going from like that party type game to going something like this, like I don't know, reach out to Big Mode.
Yeah.
I don't know, or Devolver, or just work more with Yes Beard. Like it feels like they're trying to build their own little portfolio. But I like the direction this guy's going with like trying to build more full games. Like I like the upgrade tree that he had for the weapons and like the different. It was like it wasn't just so much pay for it. It's like get these certain materials. And the story I thought was what kind of held me through. So overall, I thought really solid, like beefy and solid game. Minus, I think, just held back by some unclarities and glitches that we saw in the pre-release.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do you guys want to add like your own final thoughts? That's my thought.
B minus, 80%.
Okay.
That's cool. I mean, I'm gonna compare it to Hyper Light Drifter.
Yeah.
So Hyper Light Drifter, it's very straightforward because like there's 4 dungeons, north, east, southwest. Like you can't get lost.
Yeah.
You really can't get lost.
Overall, a pretty good game.
Yeah. And it's on, I believe, Switch and Steam.
PC.
Yeah. You can play it on Mac too. So cool. Nice.
It is a difficult game, even though I say it's not difficult, but
You can pick the easy mode.
above average gamer.
That's why I think those accessibility features are cool because it's like I was kind of when I played it at PAX, I kind of played around with that. You could make it where you could play on the hardest difficulty and just make it so you can tank all the hits. So you could just be sitting there taking the hits, because they're harder to beat, but you can at least be like, okay, I have more opportunity. Or you could be like, I'm gonna leave it as is, but make my hits hit them just as hard.
Oh,
so just 2 hits to get them. So.
Damn.
I like all the different and like the window for the parry was longer if you wanted or shorter if you wanted. So like it was really cool. I was a fan of that. I was like the fact that they went through all the different things. I'm like they definitely did a lot here.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. Very cool. Keep on rocking. Did anyone grab this for fantasy?
You mean me?
Did you?
Yeah.
Let's take a look.
It's like 80, I think. 80 something.
You lost points. 64.
See.
Really?
That's where it ended, yeah. No place for bravery. Wait, I pulled it up. Open critic. Many gave it 82s. Several gave it like mid 60s.
Oh.
But I've never heard of these like these.
Sabotage by Kurosh.
Fake.
Not me.
Fake gamers.
Fake news outlets.
That's a bummer. Don't give up. I give it. I think it's more than a. I think we all said more than a 60 for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally liked it better than Liza P. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Let's see how that game does. I'm taking a quick look here. Dofield Chronicle, that also came out. 72. Got 2 points.
Nice.
What else we got? We got Grounded's coming up tomorrow.
Yep.
Are there
1.0.
early... reviews are out. What do you think?
83, 85.
Ding, 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 ding. 83.
That's a cool concept. It just needs to be polished.
Yeah.
It's a cool concept.
What was that one game? I think we saw it on TikTok or something where it's like in a toy store.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what it's called.
Okay. It's like a multiplayer shooter toy store. Any of mine? No.
Oxenfree got delayed.
Yeah.
I saw the Twitter today. I was like, what?
Will not release. So you get to swap it, right? Son of a bitch.
Indie game.
Liza P. Anything else? What else coming up? Valkyrie. Oh, that's also this week. Valkyrie Elysium.
No shit.
80? Shit.
Man, you got 4 in a row coming out. You got those two, A Plague's Tale, and then...
Plague Tale's going to do well. 85.
No, this last one's going to do well. Mario and Rabbids.
Oh, I think you said God of War.
One of my games comes out before God of War, and that's Bayonetta 3.
87.
I'm hoping for a 90. I'm thinking 88, 80, between 87 and 89, but I'm hoping for a 90. For a miracle, give me a miracle. God of War after that, then the winter. You got one more slot open. So some games to pick.
She's at 100.
Cool.
Or don't choose.
Yeah, abstain. You're like less hurt.
Well, that rain of what is it called? The
Risk
rain
of Rain.
Risk of Rain. It still hasn't. Hasn't been reviewed.
Hold on, let me see.
It still
Has
has
any-
like one review.
Open critic.
I feel like Beast
Only one review.
Yeah.
Beast Inside or Devil Inside is not coming out. My counter pick for yours? Devil Inside.
The little devil inside.
Yeah, I don't think that's coming out.
Dude, the No Place for Bravery has already like come out with their review. How has Risk of Rain not had one?
I'm hoping. God damn it. Yeah, you're right. I'm just bummed about Hollow Knight. I was so
That's
sure.
easy, like 93, 92, 93.
What does the first one have? A 90?
Let's take a
I
look.
don't know.
What do you think?
93?
92? It's probably higher. 93.
No, 96.
Open critic average is 90.
90.
Critics gave it 98.
Hoo-wee.
Shovel Knight Dig came out. That got a 84.
Oh, that's not bad.
I might pick that up because I remember it at PAX.
That was fun. Yeah.
Really fun.
Good bite-sized game. Upcoming releases. Overwatch 2. That you should pick that up.
No. That'll be another negative game.
Gotham Knights is also coming out. All right. Cool. Well, that's it. That's it for the episode. Guys, where can people find you?
They can find me Cold Marmalade, all social media.
Twitch next week. TwitchCon next week. At the Lost Bosses everywhere. At the Lost Bosses Twitter.
Grab one of the exclusive Magic cards that he has, business cards.
Hopefully it comes in before. It said Tuesday. It says Tuesday, so.
Okay. You can find me at Kudro Prime. You can find us all at the Week of DLC. Check us out everywhere. Twitch, YouTube, podcasting services. What are you doing? Oh.
There's a bug.
Oh. Check out our TikToks. I gotta put a plug in for that. I've linked mine to have the socials for this, but I can't do any more until I guess I have more viewer followers. So just putting out until I get more viewers.
1,000.
I literally was in the plane. I'm like, I'm just gonna sit here and I made like 8 of just that. But yeah, you can check us all out at the Week of DLC. Thank you for joining us, episode 289. And until next time, we'll
DLC.
You later.